UFC Vegas 106 Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. I'm here to give you my full card breakdown, picks, and predictions on the card. Obviously, before we get started, we'll recap last week's fights. And one more thing before we even get to that, the giveaway. We have reached 500 subs so far on YouTube. I just want to thank everyone for all the continuous support here and on TikTok. Obviously, if you don't know, I started on TikTok doing these predictions, went up to 15K there. Don't no longer have that account, but we're working our way back up on TikTok as well. We're going to be doing these type of breakdowns and predictions as well. They're just a shorter form. This is the longer version with a lot more information. So if that's what you're into, obviously tune in here. But like I said, once we reach 500 subs, I will be doing a giveaway. So it will be in this video. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to be giving away $50 to 3 different people. All you have to do is comment on this video. Doesn't matter what you put, whatever. And then on the next card prediction, which I believe is in 2 weeks, I will be announcing the winners and everything. We'll do all that live. Not live, but in the video. So, like I said, we'll do another one when we reach 1K, obviously. It was just a big step to reach 500 subs on YouTube. So I appreciate everyone who has supported me from the beginning, since I started doing TikTok about 2 years ago to this point. No stopping. And clearly the giveaway worked, because last week we absolutely murdered the card. I mean, easily my best week so far this year. Went 9-3 in the predictions, 3-1, 2-1 early prelims, 3-1 prelims, and 4-1 in the main card, including JDM and also Shevchenko, both championship fights we predicted correctly. And I mean, just in terms of the bets, up almost 17 units. I mean, you couldn't even script it any better. Like, we'll start off with the first one, which was a plus 23.29 parlay. I put a half unit on it, won almost 12 units on it. It was Natalia Silva by points, Zahabi by points, and Shevchenko by points. I mean, banger, banger, banger. Then we also had a 2.5 unit spread bet on DraftKings, which was Jack Della plus 13.5, Zahabi plus 7.5. They both won outright for 2.5 units. Then had a unit on Bukowskis. He ended up winning. And then the other bet was the parlay of the week, which I put 2 units on, was Navajo Sterling and Natalia Silva together. I mean, only had one loss, and it was a half unit loss. Aside from that, we murdered the card. Absolutely what we needed, because it hasn't been my best betting year for the UFC. I mean, we were murdering last year, but this is easily one of my best betting nights in the UFC ever. So hopefully it takes us to the right step in the right direction. I'm just excited, honestly. And this card is really bad, so it's kind of like a letdown after what we just did last week. And I apologize for not dropping a video here for that card. There was a lot of things happening in my life, and I just literally could not record. So I apologize. I missed a week here. Obviously, I put the predictions on TikTok. Like I said, if you want the abbreviated version of this, you can tune in over there too. That will also be posted a little later. But still, like I said, let's just continue dominating. Let's just continue going from what we had from last week, because last week, like I said, we absolutely murdered. And it starts with, a decent card, and we'll just get into it, to be honest. So first fight, we have Tecia Pennington and Luana Pinheiro. Pinheiro is on a losing streak. Tecia Pennington actually just beat Carla Esparza. Pinheiro is a bit taller, has 2 inches in reach, which is going to be big, and 3 inches in leg reach. Like I said, Pinheiro did end up losing her last fight, or her last 3, I mean. One to Julian Roberson, Angela Hill, Amanda Hiba. She was looking pretty promising at first, but it's all matchups, and she just absolutely has been getting smoked, to be honest. And she has no cardio, no gas tank. Now, Pennington, I'm sorry, she's been around for a long time now. Picked up a win against Carla Esparza, which honestly people didn't really like, but I thought she did enough in the striking department. Handled herself well against someone like Carla Esparza, who was also retiring. I'm just a little bit afraid about how Pennington is going to do on the feet for 3 rounds, because Luana Pinheiro, despite her being kind of bad, her stand-up's decent. Like, she's able to hold her own on the feet, and that's what scares me, because that leg reach advantage is going to be huge. Pinheiro is going to be just absolutely obliterating the body with her kicks, at least early. Third round, it's going to be tough. But here's another thing that people don't realize. Like, a lot of the reason why Pinheiro gets gassed too is because she's getting grappled the entire time. She's getting out wrestled, just grappled. So she's getting tired in those positions. Is Pennington going to be doing all that? Clearly, if you know Tecia Torres, you've been around for a long time, but is she going to be able to tire her out so much so that she doesn't have the energy to put anything out in the third round? We'll see. I don't like the odds here at all. Tecia is even the app has Tecia Torres is a minus 385. Kind of nasty, to be honest. Pinheiro, definitely a live dog. I mean, listen, this could be a split decision win for Tecia Pennington, 100%. And that's how I think it goes. I think it's going to go all three. Tecia Torres, Pennington, Jesus. Tecia Pennington is probably just going to be able to do just enough, but don't be surprised because it stays standing. That's where Pinheiro does her best work. Hopefully Pennington understands that and she tries to grapple as much as she can, but I just don't see it here as much as other fights that Pinheiro has been in. So I still lean Pennington here, but there might be a dog spot for Pinheiro, maybe a decision prop. That's a crazy lotto. We'll see how we work it. But for now, give me Tecia Pennington to win by decision. Next fight. Hyun-sung Park versus Carlos Hernandez. Now, Hernandez is an inch taller, has an inch arm reach advantage, but Park has a half-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Park has been kind of dominating his competition from the road to UFC. I mean, just all finishes, then beat up Shannon Ross. Had 2 knockdowns against Shannon Ross. Pretty late finish, I would say, for beating Shannon Ross, to be honest, if you know who Shannon Ross is. But regardless, he's been looking really good. Hernandez has had some split wins here, literally split. I mean, 3 of his fights, or we can even say 3 of his wins, including Contender Series, have all been split decision because he just edges it out as much as he can. That sounds crazy, but you know what I mean. He just does just enough to win sometimes. Picked up a last split decision win a few months ago. Wasn't too bad. I mean, got the takedowns, but he did get knocked down. Before that, picked up 2 losses. I mean, they're just giving him Asian fighters. Have we realized that? Like, why are they doing that to him? I'm confused. It's literally the 4th straight fighter from that region, which is really funny. But listen, I like Park. I think he's going to be doing as much as he can to stay in the clinch, to wrestle him as much as possible. Is Carlos Hernandez going to be able to circle out of those positions? I think so. Is he going to land some takedowns on his own? He can. Averages 1.6 takedowns. About 4 strikes a minute. Absorbs about 3.5. Park's a little better, 4 strikes a minute, but it really depends on who's kind of leading the dance here. I think Park's going to lead the dance for a little bit, but like I said, Carlos Hernandez, if he's not getting finished, he's in the fight. He's in the fight if he's not getting finished early or, somewhat getting hurt. Is Park going to be able to do that in the first round? I don't think so. I think it's going to be really close round to just judge. And don't be surprised if it's 1-1 going into the third and Hernandez just outstrikes him just a little bit. Might pick up a split decision win. We'll see who's able to land those takedowns first. In terms of the odds, Carlos Hernandez is an underdog, plus 142 on FanDuel. And Park is minus 184. I mean, the money is coming in on Hernandez. And I'm not going to lie, kind of like it a little bit. I kind of like it. I think he's a live dog. You want to take his point spread on DraftKings? I wouldn't mind that either. But I like him at these odds, to be honest. He's not a bad fighter at all. Just really depends on the level of competition. As an underdog here, you could say the veteran experience here of the two, knows what he needs to do to win or at least keep it close. I lean him. I do. I think if he stuffs those takedowns, he's going to be able to do enough on the feet to just at least make it a point or at least make it close enough that you're scratching your head at the end of the fight and everyone's arguing with each other. So I'm going to take the dog here. Second fight of the night, I'm going to take the dog here. Both dogs could win straight up in the first 2 fights. But I will be picking the dog here. I will be picking Carlos Hernandez. I think he's just going to be able to do enough to maybe pick up a split decision win. At worst, I'll take a spread bet if I don't take his money line. He wins a round. He doesn't get smoked. That's the spread bet right there. So give me Carlos Hernandez to win by decision. Next fight, Elise Reed versus Denise Gomes. Now, right off the bat, right? Elise Reed is an inch taller, same reach, and Elise Reed has a half-inch leg reach advantage. Elise Reed is okay. She's one of those fighters. She's like Sam Hughes. She's just like okay everywhere. Hasn't picked up a win or losing streak in her entire UFC career. Just lost, win, lost, win. And the exact same thing is going to happen here because Denise Gomes is going to win. As you can see, 56% takedown defense. That's awful. She pretty much lands as much as she gets hit. Denise Gomes lands 4.5 strikes a minute. Averages a little, 0.72 takedowns, but she knows when to, like, what type of fighter she has to take down. She took Bruna Brazil down 3 times. She got dominated by Luma, but Luma is huge. So in this matchup, she's going to keep it on the feet. She might even land a takedown on her own. Honestly, I think she dominates here. I don't want to spend too much time on this fight because the odds are gross. Denise Gomes is minus 700. I wouldn't touch this fight at all unless it's maybe some type of TKO prop, maybe on Denise Gomes' part. But I do lean her. I think her striking's better. She hits way harder. She'll dominate clinch situations. She might land something in the clinch. She might even try to throw her down from those positions. I think she dominates, whether it's a 3-round just war, or she picks up a late TKO finish, maybe a ground and pound, if she's just on her back and then they're just, at least trying to get up, and she's just on her and just swinging. I absolutely see that happening late in the fight. So give me the heavy dog here. Give me Denise Gomes to win by TKO or decision. Next fight. Luana Santos versus Tainara Lisboa. Lisboa is an inch taller, same reach, but Santos has a 1-inch leg reach advantage. In terms of the advantages, not even too much on either side. But Luana Santos is going to be throwing those kicks as much as possible. She's going to try to level, or just keep her range as much as possible against someone like Lisboa, because Lisboa is going to try to stalk her. She's going to be quiet a lot, trying to circle, just cut off the cage. Luana's going to try to circle away as much as she can. She's going to have to use her kicks. She's going to have to use her jab to just, flow as much as she can against someone like Lisboa, because Lisboa hits really hard, but Luana, I would say, I lean her in terms of skill, striking. Lisboa probably has the better wrestling. I mean, if she's on top, that's my one fear. Is Santos just going to stay there? You can't really do that against someone like Lisboa, who's going to stay busy on the ground. Now, Santos did lose her last fight to Casey O'Neill. Casey O'Neill just did more. She just outstruck her. She did more over 3 rounds. But before that, she was 3-0 in the UFC. Had a great run so far. Had a little minor setback. Now Lisboa, 2-0, rear naked choke, and then a decision where she just dominated on the ground again. Not much striking. Look, 18, like, that's gross. 2 strikes, in the second round. Like I said, she stayed busy on the ground in the second round, but still 2 strikes landed is kind of gross. I honestly felt like I saw more than that. Beat Jessica Rose Clark in the first fight. That girl sucks. So I'm not impressed at all. I think Luana Santos is going to be able to pull one out here. In terms of the odds, Luana Santos is a slight favorite, minus 170. She was my 138 about 5 days ago. That's probably when I should have taken it. But I like Santos here. I like her striking. I think, like I said, she's going to be able to just circle away as much as she can. She's going to use those calf kicks, those body kicks, those front kicks. She's going to be doing everything possible to just annoy Lisboa there, especially if Lisboa isn't throwing enough. Luana's going to be all output early. And if she's not getting wrestled, she's just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. I don't see how she doesn't win this fight, to be honest. I like Luana Santos, really. I mean, she bad too, but give me Luana Santos to win by decision. Yadier Del Valle, I say Del Valle, versus Connor Matheus. Now, this is his debut fight. He's an inch taller, but Connor Matheus has a 2-inch arm reach advantage. And Del Valle has a 1-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Del Valle is pretty much a savage, though. He just absolutely dominated his opponent in Contender Series. I know it's a little scary, betting on someone in Contender Series. I get it. Connor Matheus, though, lost his last 2 by TKO. He's dropped 3. Or you could say he's dropped his first 2, lost his first Contender Series fight, won his last one. Now he's 0-2 against Bazooka and Jose Delgado. not fights that you just want to lose like that. I feel like just Yadier just has more tools standing. Um, might get a little scary if he unloads the tank too early against someone like Connor Matheus who can stay in it if he doesn't get dropped early. But I think he just gets dropped. To be honest, this is not anything new. I think Connor Matheus is on his way out. To be honest, I feel kind of bad. But Del Valle is minus 590 on FanDuel. Kind of gross. Wouldn't touch this fight, especially because he's coming in. This is his first fight in the UFC. I would never bet on someone who's first fight in the UFC and he's on minus 590. Out of your mind. So, not loving those odds at all. But I do lean him to win this fight. So, give me Yadier Del Valle to win by TKO or decision. Now, next fight Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moisés. Now, they're both the same height, but Moisés holds the 2.5 arm reach advantage and the 1 inch leg reach advantage. Let's get into it. Now, Moisés did pick up a win in his last fight against Trey Ogden. Just did enough. Was very close at first, but he just got that takedown, and then he just completely held. He didn't really hold on for dear life, but he did what he needed to do to strike. He did what he needed to do to win that fight. It was close. Trey Ogden was on a pretty nice win streak, right? Won 2 straight. Would have won 3 straight, to be honest. Not bad, honestly. Jared Gordon, on the other hand, did lose his last fight. I know a lot of people are screaming robbery. I wasn't, just because I was on the other side. But lost a split decision. Then, had beat Mark Madsen. Mark Madsen is a wrestler, so no contest against Bobby Green. Lost to Patty. Shouldn't have lost that. I mean, 2 really bad decisions with him on the other side there. And he's fighting someone in Moisés who just kind of looks like he's a savage now. Like, he looks like he's coming into his own a little bit more now. He's definitely more powerful. Has the advantages on the ground as well. Standing might be a little scary for him. Like I said, he has the power, but Jared Gordon has the output. I mean, he'll literally just throw things out there 100%. It's a bit of a scary fight, I would say, but it's going to be close. It really depends on if Jared Gordon is able to clinch as much as possible. Just annoy Moisés, because if Moisés gets in the groove, I mean, he's going to land something hard. We've seen Jared Gordon hurt before. Don't be surprised if Moisés, kind of stings him. Maybe a nice little club and sub. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Like I said, Moisés could land that takedown, can get on his back, and then from there, he might just pick up a rear naked choke. I would not be surprised. Now, the odds are not in that favor because they think Jared Gordon is going to win. Jared Gordon is a minus 122 on FanDuel. Moisés is a minus 104. He is the underdog right now. He did open as the favorite, and money is coming in on Jared Gordon. Maybe they know something I don't. I like Moisés here. As a dog, especially as a dog, I'll take it. Listen, Jared Gordon, New York native, he's cool. He's good. I feel bad for him because some of those decisions just don't go his way. But I still lean Moisés to win here. I think he's going to be doing enough to the body. I think he's going to be doing enough, especially if it gets to the ground. I think he'll dominate. So give me Thiago Moisés to win by submission or decision. Next fight. Gabe Green versus Matheus Camilo. Now, there's obviously not much on him here. I know Gabe Green is an inch taller. And if we know Gabe Green already, we know he fights like a crackhead. In his last fight, he did some stupid shit against Brian Battle, lost in 14 seconds. He will not be doing that in this fight. Absolutely not against Camilo, who's absolutely dangerous with those elbows, with those calf kicks. If you know how Matheus even got this fight, he's there to show out. Dana White was at that fight for his opponent who wanted to, get signed to the UFC, whatever. And then this dude showed out and then gets the contract. So he's there fighting for his life still. Gabe Green is too. Look, dropped 2 straight. Not bad losses, but still dropped 2 straight. So there's not much to say here. Listen, Camilo is a favorite, which scares me. I'm not going to bet on this fight at all. But I do lean him. I think he's a savage. If it stays standing, he's just so much more powerful. He's vicious. He's a dog. I don't really, Gabe Green's okay. He's going to have to just stay out of, harm's way for a big majority of this fight. I don't really like it, to be honest. So give me Matheus, Camilo to win by TKO or decision. All right, Julian Erosa versus Melquizael Costa. Now, Erosa is 2 inches taller, has a 3.5 inch reach advantage and the half-inch leg reach advantage. Erosa's coming in here, or both of them are actually coming in here on win streaks. Erosa has won 3 straight, including a TKO win against Darren Elkins literally a month ago. Beat C-Rod not much before that, a few months ago. And then Ricardo Ramos. I mean, he's just been picking up great wins, to be honest. Good for him. I'm happy for him, to be honest, because he had some pretty nasty losses before that. 5 straight first round finishes, win or lose. So, you know what he's there to do. Now, Costa has had some similar success. He is now 4-2 in the UFC with 3 straight. He was 1-2. You know, the way he got brutalized by Steve Garcia, no one really knew how he was going to come back. But he's won 3 straight ever since, in big ways. I mean, two great wins by sub, and then a very dominant decision against C-Rod, who C-Rod just couldn't do anything there. Honestly, it's a great matchup here. Now, I will say I'm a little more impressed with Melky, with just the way he's bounced back from all these losses, to be honest. I think he's just so much more athletic. He's so much more in your face. It's going to be scary for someone like Erosa, who's extremely chinny as well. I mean, listen, Melky got smoked by Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is on like the longest, longest TKO streak right now, and I think it's at like 6 or something. So, it's not a bad loss at all. Like I said, he's been a lot more dominant. Is he going to be able to take this to the ground? Probably, but I probably wouldn't want to against someone like Erosa. It's going to be very scary in those situations. But standing, he does a lot of things correctly. I think he's going to lean a lot to his kicks, a lot to his jab. Not overthinking this one too much, to be honest. I think Melky is on his way up. He's younger by like 7 years. Costa right now is a minus 188. Not bad. I wouldn't really know how to play this yet, but I do like the favorite to win here. So give me Melky Costa to win by TKO or decision. Now, next fight. Dustin Stoltzfus versus Nursulton Ruziboev. Now, Ruziboev is 5 inches taller. He's usually huge in there. Has an inch reach advantage and a half-inch leg reach advantage. Ruziboev, as we know, he loses to. What I've realized with Ruziboev is he only loses to fighters that have more power than him because he has their respect. But if he doesn't, he's going to piece you up immediately. He only has 1 loss to Joaquin Buckley. He's 3-1 aside from that. Picked up a great win in his last fight against Eric McConico, who is he even in the UFC anymore? I don't even think so. Stoltzfus did pick up a great win against Marc-Andre Barriel. TKO win before that loss to Bruno. A little bit of a weird one there. He's just been win-loss. Also has not had a win streak so far in the UFC, and I don't think it starts here. I think it's going to stay standing. Listen, he averages 2.3 takedowns a fight. He needs to take this down. If he's able to take this down, he might have a chance. If not, Ruziboev is going to piece him up. I know he only has an inch reach advantage, arm reach advantage, but just his combos are so much slicker. He's going to be the more powerful fighter in there. Just can outstrike you too, but he has a lot of losses by decision. Stoltzfus too, but it's going to be scary to see if Stoltzfus is able to take him down. This is going to be a long night for Ruziboev. Now, Ruziboev is minus 340 right now on FanDuel. I do not like that at all. I don't even know if I want to play this. We'll see if I play this, but I still lean him. So give me Nursulton Ruziboev to win by knockout or TKO. Next fight, Sodiq Yusuff versus Mairon Santos. Now, this is a lightweight bout now. They're both featherweights, but they're both coming up. Yusuff is 2 inches taller, but Santos has the 1 inch arm reach advantage. They both have the same leg reach advantage. Now, straight off the bat, right, I'm telling you right now, Sodiq Yusuff is an underdog. Why? I'm confused. Sodiq's last fight was against Diego Lopez in UFC 300, and no one could have beaten Diego Lopez that night. I swear to God, no featherweight in the world would have beaten Diego Lopes that night. He was on fire. He was on fire. That was like peak Diego Lopes. There's absolutely no way that anyone would have beaten him that night. And before that, had a pretty decisive loss against Edson Barbosa where he hurt Edson in the first round. And it was just all downhill from there. I mean, he landed so much, and then he just kind of started getting outstruck as the later this fight went. Kind of got a little scary. But aside from that, he's picked up a lot of good wins. He's only lost to Arnold Allen, Edson Barbosa, and Diego Lopes. And we have Mairon Santos, who didn't actually win his last fight against Francis Marshall. I mean, honestly, as of right now in 2025, it's the biggest robbery we've seen so far in 2025. And that says something because there's been a few. There's no reason he should have won this fight at all. He got outstruck in every single round pretty much. Francis threw more, but Santos landed more. But those shots were trash. Really nothing hurt Francis Marshall. He landed the takedowns. I mean, I was so confused. He had so much control in this fight. So this is my thing, right? Sodiq Yusuff has more experience. He's the harder hitter. He's been in there with better competition. He's not chinny. He's not like super chinny. So yeah, Santos could hurt him, but in a 3-rounder where you only give him 3 rounds to work, he's going to maul this kid. And I like him. The kid is good. But Yusuff as a dog in his prime, get out of here. Get out of here. Give me Sodiq Yusuff to win this fight. This might be my hammer of the night. Give me Sodiq Yusuff to win by decision. This is the most disrespectful line I have ever seen in my life. Give me Sodiq Yusuff to win by decision. Next fight, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this fight because fuck, this fight sucks. Rodolfo Bellato versus Paul Craig. Now, they're the same height. Bellato has a 1.5-inch reach advantage and a 1-inch leg reach advantage. But dude, that dude stinks. He almost got smoked by Tecia. The only reason he survived was because he has a big block head. Now, Paul Craig is also on a losing streak. He's lost 3 straight, 5 of his last 6. Want proof? Here's your proof. 5 of his last 6. Don't even look at the names. I know they're good. They're good fighters. But he's on his way out. He's old. Don't think just because Bo Nickel couldn't take him out, his chin is still there. Bellato's going to smoke that chin. He's going to just smack it around. And he's going to get cooked here. Give me Rodolfo Bellato. Now, the odds means I will never touch this fight. Don't bet on this fight. Don't bet on this fight. Minus 650 for Rodolfo Bellato. I would be, if he's a 650, I would be like minus 500 if he's a minus 650. That's how bad that would be. There's no reason he should be a minus 650. He's not good at all. He's just a big blockhead. He's like Kelvin Gastelum. The only reason he's this high odds is because there's the finishing ability against someone like Paul Craig. I get it. But listen, Paul Craig could land a triangle out of nowhere, and then what? You're going to lose your parlay because you bet on Rodolfo Bellato at minus 650? At that point, you delete your account, okay? Delete your account. Delete your YouTube app. Because I don't even want to see your face if you bet on 650 on Rodolfo Bellato, but I still think he wins. So, give me Rodolfo Bellato to win by knockout TKO. Red flag fight. Don't bet on this fight, please. If you do, I pray for you and your sins next time I go to church. And main event, Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. Now, also, I'm biased. I'm a little biased because I am half Ecuadorian. So, right off the bat, I want my countryman to win. Cheeto couldn't pull it off. He still has time, but this kid is good. So I want him to pull it off so bad. But I love Gilbert too. So I just don't want to sound biased here. I don't want to sound biased. I just want to throw that out. But this kid is 17-0. He's 2 inches taller. He has an 8-inch reach advantage and a 1-inch leg reach advantage, but his arms are always long as fuck. You know, that jab is going to be crisp. Against someone like Burns who gets hurt off jabs, he's going to be popping that jab early. If it was a 3-rounder, I wouldn't even have mentioned I was Ecuadorian. I would have just said Michael Morales by murder. But a 5-rounder against a proven title challenger in Gilbert Burns, a uncrowned BMF, Gilbert Burns, one of my favorite fighters ever. Fuck. This is tough. Now, Morales, like I said, he's 17-0, 6-0 in the UFC, including Dana White Contender Series. You know, has picked up some good TKO wins, some decision wins, where he's faced adversity. Max Griffin won that first round. You know, losing that first round is scary. I'd rather lose the second. It depends on momentum. But if you lose that first round, you gotta win the second. So, bit scary there. But he faced it, he smoked him in the second, and then he did the same in the third. Same thing with Jake Matthews, clean 30-27 there. Smoked Neil Magny, you know, it's Neil Magny at this point. But some great wins. His boxing is crisp, his wrestling is good, his takedown defense is great. He's just able to circle out of the cage beautifully when someone's trying to just, on those single leg entries, even if they switch to a double, it's beautiful. It's like honestly so crisp. He listens to his coaches very well. He's just a good kid from Ecuador. So that's why I want him to win. But Gilbert Burns, listen, he's dropped 3 straight. But look who he's dropped his losses to: Bilal Muhammad, Jack Della, and Sean Brady. Bilal Muhammad, he had one arm for 4.5 rounds. So I don't even count that, for real. I don't even count that. Jack Della, he won the first 2 rounds. 1-1, in my opinion. But for most, 2-0. So we'll say 2-0. I think it was 1-1, and he was winning the third until he got smoked. So probably would have won 29-28, even though it was 1-1 on all judges' scorecards, just in case if you thought it was really 2-0. It wasn't. And then he just got outworked by Sean Brady. Sean Brady just did everything right, because that's what Sean Brady does. He's just a hard blue-collar worker. And that's what he blue-collared Gilbert Burns in that fight. Now, Gilbert Burns, like I said, has all the disadvantages in terms of anatomy. He's going to be powering some hooks and some, you know, a lot of kicks, those tree trunks. He has one of the strongest legs in the division. He's going to be just kicking the shit out of Morales. But, you know, it's going to give Morales time to counter. That's what he's going to be looking for when he's getting kicked. He's going to be looking to just counter with a jab. Just a 1-2, just right down the pecker. Right down the pecker, because that's exactly what he likes to do, especially against someone like Gilbert, who is very open in terms of his defense. Sometimes even if he just crouches down like that, Morales will see that. He'll read that at some point, especially in the later rounds if it gets there, and he'll just land some mean uppercuts because Gilbert's not going to be looking. Gilbert's going to try to counter with an over just like that. But Morales at that point, he's going to know exactly. He's going to be out of Gilbert's range. That's where things get scary for him. And that's where I think Morales shines. Now, here's the thing. It's a 5-rounder. So I don't even know if I want to bet on Morales straight up. Because Morales is a minus 950. That's fucking disrespectful for Gilbert Burns. That's so disrespectful. How's he in? Gilbert's a plus 540. Look at that. Look at the odds. It's like stairs. It's fucking stairs. People just keep betting against him. I don't know. My thing is, what does Morales do to... When I see minus 950, I go, he's going to finish him. But is he going to finish Gilbert? Because I don't think he does. I think that he's going to have chances in the first 2 rounds, and then he might get in deep waters. I'm not saying he'll lose the fight then, but I think it's going to be a lot harder. His arms are going to be a little more tired. We've seen him in the fights. I've watched all his fucking fights, obviously. So, like, you know, he shakes it off a little bit. Fine. He gets back in there, pops, you know, does what he has to do. But when it gets to that 4th, 5th round, if Gilbert's still clinching him on the cage, we might see some heavy breathing from Morales, and then that's when I'm going to go, fuck. Because I don't think he gets finished either. I know a lot of people are saying Gilbert sub. Gilbert can last 5 rounds and win a fight still. I know he's 38, but he still can. He gets tired too if he's grapple heavy. We'll see how much he's able to do. Let's see if Morales stays down if Gilbert takes him down. He was so tired because he was trying to take JDM down so goddamn much. But JDM doesn't stay down. That's why he was tired. That's why when he tried to land that last takedown in the third and JDM kneed his chest, that's why he was so goddamn tired. But if he's able to land a takedown on Morales and just work for a round, he won't be that tired. As tired, I should say. So it's tough. But I'm going to go Morales here. I know, like I said, I'm going to be a little biased. It's my countryman. I think Morales has the power. I think he has, at this point, he has the tools to win a very close, maybe even split decision. But I don't think anyone gets finished here. And if someone does get finished, I could see a Gilbert sub. No one's getting, or maybe an early Michael Morales TKO first, second round, but I don't see it, to be honest. I just don't. And I just can't justify minus 950. I can't. But I'm still going to go Michael Morales here to win. But, Gilbert decision prop might be the way to go for a lotto. Probably plus 1,000. Why not? Why not? But give me the heavy favorite. Give me the Ecuadorian. Give me Michael Morales to win by decision. And that concludes UFC Vegas 106, Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank everyone who has, like I said, who has been here from TikTok to 0 subs here to 500 now. I appreciate you all. I will have Parlay of the Week out on TikTok, as well as if you want all of my plays, all of my early bets, all of my write-ups, everything that I'm saying to you now, if you want it in a writing form, but with more depth as well, please subscribe subscribe to the Discord. The link is in the bio. The link will be in this description as well. It's the best value. Like I said, not only do I do UFC, when I have 2 moderators that do a variety of sports, but I also do baseball and basketball. Basketball is coming to an end. Baseball, as of right now, we're up 30 units in the last 7 days. And we were already profitable for this season. So it's not just UFC, obviously, but if you want all that earlier, like I said, and all of my bets this week, except Parlay of the Week, that will be, it's going to be out early on Discord, but it will also be on TikTok. So please go sub. It's the best bang for your buck. It is literally the best value out there on any Discord. I promise you that. So please subscribe there. It allows me to do this. Please subscribe to this channel as well. Like I said, we'll do another giveaway at 1K and the TikTok as well. So I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I will see you guys in the next card and on the Discord. Let's keep cashing.